What is going on? Sooner Nation, welcome back. Sooner Surge, a podcast that tells it like it is. This Monday night, got some NFL action tonight. Very cold outside. What's that?
I don't see any NFL action.
Well, not much of a game if you're saying that. Dalpost, Damon, appreciate everybody joining us already. Yeah, Jerm, how you doing this Monday? Back to school.
Long day, man. Long day.
Nice. Long, cold day. So it is, man. Let's get to it. People in Ohio are hoping. Oh gosh. I first comment I put up. Hey, the Ohio State people aren't really talking about it, so it's fine.
Hey, yes, the Deion Jerry stuff does sound like there's. It does sound like there's at least some talk to it.
Hey, let me throw this scenario out there. Okay, I got to. Hey, what's up, KB? How are you tonight? What's up, Aaron? Here's the thing. The Deion stuff, if you look at Dallas Cowboys under Jerry Jones, the only type of coach that works is somebody with a big personality. Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, they are power people. That is what Deion is. It would absolutely work, in my opinion. He's not going to take all this stuff that Jerry does. I think it would be outstanding. Do it.
Aaron.
Do whatever you have to do.
Aaron, doesn't matter any where OU's ranked preseason. I hate preseason rankings.
Hey, Sooner fan, trade Dak, trade Micah Parsons. I don't care who you have to trade. You know why? Otherwise, Jerry going to do Jerry, Michael. You know he's probably going to go get is Jason Witt, never coach college or anything. They'll go get him.
Hey, what about Deion Sanders' rules?
What about him?
Did you see those that he came out with today about that they can't wear sandals, no tank tops? If they get a D or an F, they have to pay back part of their contract or money will be withheld.
I know where you're going here.
You know exactly where I'm going.
You love the rules, don't you?
No, I'm just waiting for people to comment, Jay.
No, but I know where you're going with this.
I know you know where I'm going.
You're kind of backing them into this, aren't you?
Absolutely backing fans into this.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
My point is, it doesn't matter what you do if you win, Jay. When people say the culture needs to be better needs to be worse at OU, OU needs to stop having all these rules. Is it fine for Deion to do it?
It does. Yeah, winning changes everything. We've talked about that before. Monty would rather have Tony Romo.
I've heard Jason Witten's name thrown out there along with Tony Romo.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I just don't see it.
Mistakes. Both of those would be mistakes.
BV's culture is better than Moser's, my opinion.
And I'll say one reason I think it's better, Jay. Most of Moser's guys who play with them for a year leave.
That's true.
Go look at the past 3 years. Guys who play under him will bolt the next year.
Hey, you know what?
Even Jacob Groves bolted.
Hey, this Friday, it's going to go from about 65 to about 0 degrees, about as fast as OU fell out of the top 25. Very quickly. Correct. They got up to 10. It was like, woo, bye-bye. It was like didn't last long.
Chester, I know, Chester, I know about the compliance. I get that. But there are a lot of fans who say some of the stuff BB does, it's just stupid. You can't win that way. Has nothing to do with winning. That stuff has no bearing on winning.
Yeah, but Chester's talking about the compliance stuff.
I know I'm not talking about compliance, Jay.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, hey, 918. I want a winning culture. I do.
Well, it's got to happen this year. Michael's asking, what does compliance do? I know where Chester's going with this. Maybe
they have their thumb. They have their thumb on everything, Jay. And I agree, Benjamin. You can do it. You can win and do it the right way. It's possible. Hey, I don't really want to go off on that tangent tonight. I don't feel like going off on that tangent tonight. But if we need to, I'm here for it.
Hit the like, as Lori says. Mike was the 31st lowest paid $4 million. Who we talking about, Mike? Did I miss something in the chat?
McCarthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to probably go to the Bears. Yeah, please explain, Tone Loke saying. I don't know. Are we talking about please explain the compliance deal?
let's boot out 3 of our top 7 players on a team.
It was
you're going back way so many
was
years ago, and anyway,
I
I'm not going to
think
get on that.
I don't want to put words in Chester's mouth. Maybe we open up the phone lines here in a minute, but I think what he's saying is that, yeah, and that was above OU, Chester. That was not OU. I think what Chester's saying is that sometimes they have a little that stuff that has to go through compliance at OU that it does in other schools. OU's just
and I'm going to do something, Jay, because Hunter and I got in a big argument about 2 weeks ago on this. Okay, Jay? We did. Okay. And I went and Googled all kinds of college football programs, compliances. They're almost word for word the same on their beliefs and everything. Now, I get what I think he's saying. Yeah, but OU might has more of a thumb on it. And Greg God, I get your point, Greg God. But if BV came out tomorrow and said, "Okay, Sooners, new rules for the football team. No sandals will be allowed. No tank tops will be allowed." Fans would be on here ripping BV. Facts.
Yeah, that is fact.
That's my point. And you know you would be, Greg God. You know you would. That's my only point.
Jeremy, it's because they're losing. That people have. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying, Jay.
That's going to happen anywhere, Jerm. That's going to happen.
I
anywhere.
agree. Has no bearing on if you win.
Yeah. I think Chester's saying compliance reports at above where you know the Georgia and Bama.
Hey, I also went that night and looked at Oregon, Colorado, all these schools. They have reported as many violations or more than OU did. Did you know that, Jay?
No, I don't follow it that closely, Jerm. I didn't go down a rabbit hole and do a research on it.
Go do research before people start talking on here. It's been as many as OU has in the past 3 years.
Michael says the rule used to be they would randomly test if you made the postseason every sport. The crazy thing is the players in all sports know they could be tested if you made postseason. Couldn't wear sandals in 95, 96, Sooner Freak said when he played. So there you go. It's probably always been a thing. I bet they don't allow that. Not in facilities. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Act like I know. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
I wish we could fix that. If Saban did that, I would be accepted because he's a winner, and that's fair. That's what you got to win to do. I mean, to not have backlash. Any sport you do, you got to win. Period. NCAA can't do anything to anybody. Who cares? Well, they can. I mean, they have.
Wait. Jay, did Deion Burks get suspended this year?
No.
Did Vickers?
No.
Let's stop then. Not in the mood.
That's true.
Not in the mood. Like, do research if we're going to come in here and drop all these facts.
Jerm with the mic drop.
I can't stand it when there's all these things dropped in here and people claim like they know what they're. No. Google right now. Google's a good friend. Google right now. Google what teams have been on or have reported.
He's talking about position coaches. DeMarco.
What team has reported violations?
He
a lot of the big time.
Hey, we got Chester on the line. What's up, Chester?
How did he already get on the line? Did we open him up early tonight?
Hunter dropped. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Because we ain't been playing, so I haven't really been looking at much of the social media or whatnot. But when I did, I see a lot of Sooner fans are laughing at Texas for losing a playoff
it's ridiculous.
Game. It's ridiculous.
And listen. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I only watch Oklahoma play football. I do not watch football anymore, just Oklahoma. And yes, I hate Texas. We're supposed to hate Texas like they hate us. But that just shows how pathetic a program we are now that we're going to go out of our way to go, ha, tee, hee, look at y'all.
I'm so with you, Chester. Thank you.
Bringing the heat. That is so embarrassing as fans.
It is embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
We have this year.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to KB Longhorn. This guy is practically an OG now. He's always in there, right? And this is a Texas fan that is telling us that we need to fire BV. A Texas fan is telling us this. Now they want us to keep BV because they know that'll keep us down forever, you know. So my question, because I know a lot of people hate my takes, but my question is for everybody in the chat: how many more years of 6 and 7 or worse are y'all going to put up with? It's just a fair question.
He's gone in one more year, if that's the case.
That's what we all said this year, right?
No, because, hey, I'll say this. I would have thought he would have been gone, Chester, but a lot of people, the narrative was the first year in the SEC is a freebie, a gift. You know that was true.
Listen. I guess the younger ones, they don't have the old traditions that we older fans do. At OU, for you to keep your job, you must beat Texas. My grandfather said that. My dad said it. You have to beat Texas. That is requirement number one. Okay. And number two was always you must at least compete for a conference championship. Correct?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the real, we know you're supposed to compete for natties, but conference titles was the absolute lowest of the demands that's made.
Yeah.
He has done none of these. I know. Look, when he first got hired, I wanted him for 4 years. I was going to wait till the fourth season, okay? Because what happened before with the previous regime, I knew then it killed the program for a minimum of 4 years. But my problem with this year is I didn't see any improvement anywhere. Well, the defense, yes.
The defense has been big time.
But a lot of players, you don't see improvements from them. You know, and
we'll see this year. I mean, this Chester for head coach, Max says, "Hey,
no, I ain't no head coach. I'm like you guys. I know what I saw out there. I saw a quarterback that couldn't throw a ball. Maybe that was coaching because they didn't have schemes for him to throw it, but he couldn't throw. He was too afraid to throw. He fumbled so many times that then had to bring up, well, Kevin Johns now as my quarterback coach is teaching me how not to fumble. That's the first thing you're supposed to learn in football is don't fumble the ball. They teach you that in Pee Wee school.
Yeah,
don't fumble the ball.
Yeah,
right?
I know a lot of people say this too. Is if you got rid of Brent Venables, who are you going to get? Who are you going after?
And I want to clarify. I love Brent Venables.
Yeah,
I was upset when he left the first time. I thought he got a raw deal back then. I understood what Bob was trying to do. Because the defense was slipping a little bit, but maybe in hindsight, you guys don't remember this. In 2010, they switched from the old 4-2-5 to the 3-4 because they went to Alabama that year in preseason and was watching Saban stuff. And to me, that's when our defense started to get worse.
Yeah,
personally,
on that.
But I wish it would work, but I don't see it. I do not see it working with him. He's what's the word I'm looking for? He's too nice. You get what I'm saying?
And I'm going to disagree with that part.
Okay, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. The coach ran 50 yards down the sideline celebrating a successful fake punt and then having to call time. No, we didn't even call time.
Hey, Chester, is Marcus Freeman too nice?
Wait, Chester, you were great up until that point. It was dynamite up until that point.
Marcus Freeman's a nice guy.
I said too nice. You can't baby them. I understand. Look, I get it. The kids nowadays, no offense to you younger ones, you all are softer than we were. We had to put it with a lot more. I get it. But it's just too much, man. You're paying them a ton of money. I bet you the lowest paid player on that team makes more money than I do.
Well,
hey, that's the world we live in.
Chester, Daniel's dropping something in there, and Daniel knows BV pretty well, and he says, trust me, he not nice.
Whatever.
Hey, good call, Chester. Appreciate
it. Hey, before you all hang up on me, everybody in chat, remember this. Trust the process. Defend the standard. Physicality. I didn't see none of that. Boomer Sooner for life.
Hey, have a good one, Chester.
Hey, Boomer Sooner for life. And Jay, I have seen physicality on defense.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Ernie says he's too strict.
BV is getting his 4th year. So we're all going to know after 4 years. And I saw the comparison to Jim Harbaugh. I think it's fair. The only thing I would say is Jim Harbaugh didn't have losing seasons, if I remember right. That's the only difference. Now, here's the thing. BV's getting his 4th year. He's got probably, you could argue with, other than Levy, maybe he's got the best offensive coordinators he's had. Okay. And hey, what's Greg God saying? Sunshine Pumpers at BV.
I tell you what I'm going to say, Greg God, and Jay, bear with me for a second.
Okay.
I'm a little bit fired up already. Greg God, let me ask, what really just irks me is the comments, and I see people in chat, and I know you're not saying me, and I'm not just responding to you, Greg God, but when you say coming to BV's defense, here's my issue. I agree. It's not been good at all. It should have been questioned. It should be questioned. I can't stand it when people throw out well, BV can't win. He's too nice. Or BV's just, his culture's too good. He can't do it with that. Hogwash. Period. Wrong. End of story. That has nothing to do with wins and losses.
I agree. If you here's the thing. You can say what you want.
Marcus Freeman's playing for a natty. He may be the nicest man.
Hey, here's the thing. Brent Venables.
I love the man.
If you want to say anything about Brent Venables right now as far as coaching, it would be his overall managerial skills of the program, whether it be whatever he's doing whatever he's doing has not worked in 3 years. Now, I don't know. Maybe it changes this year. Well, I don't know. But Jay, you can't say it's because he's too nice. You can't say it's because, he's recruited too well. So to me, it's coaching.
I can talk about bad game management. I can talk about bad evaluation. But me or no one in the chat, unless your name is Daniel Brooks, or I don't know if Sooner Freak played under him. If your name's not Daniel Brooks, we can't tell if he's too nice or too strict, or if he's hard. These are all those are outside of, I don't know on those, but game management issue. Player evaluation and personnel decisions issue.
Hey, I will say this, and I talked about it probably 3 weeks to a month ago, and I do think there could be some validity to this. And it was from Caden McFarland's tweet about when Brent Venables answers a question at the media, a simple answer takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes or longer. What does that mean at practice meetings? What is that? All that stuff you could say, well, maybe he's not the management stuff of it. Maybe that's what maybe the problem is right now. Because
I'm fine with the issues on game management. That's been a bad deal.
And that's because he can recruit. They're recruiting well.
I will never argue for BV on game management.
Right now, to me, right now, you could say this. Brent Venables, 3 years at Oklahoma. You could say 2 major problems if you want to look at him. To me, it would be staff hires, 1, and it would be management of and I'm not saying just game. I'm talking overall program, whether it be how you're running practice. There's a disconnect there to me. So something's got to change in that aspect. Those 2, you could say, it hasn't been good.
Agree. And Jay, I've worked with coaches who have been phenomenal at position coaches who are maybe not the best at a head coach. And that could be the issue here.
Chuck says, Chuck, this was a tweet, and I was making a point about it, okay? And I understand the point, and I don't know if Chuck was saying I was talking too long or if I was the whole thing I was talking about. I don't know.
No, he's saying you're talking about talking too long. Who cares? That has nothing to do with wins and losses.
No, but it does in the overall, if you talk about maybe if it – never mind. I don't want to go down this road again. I did it another month ago. Dean the Stream. I don't know what that's about.
Dean Blevins.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't really want to chase – I don't want to chase this all the way, all night tonight about that, but
I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this again. And Clark says some people still defend BV. It's really weird. I love BV. It's better for Oklahoma if next year BV succeeds and they have a really good year, and you're not having to have a full changeover the next year. It would be better if Brent Venables succeeds. I'll also say this. I think anybody in this chat would be pretty naive to think that if it wasn't Brent Venables, an OU guy, and it was some random guy they hired 3 years ago, would have been gone.
Yeah, and hey,
I mean, I just think that's part of it too.
It's fair, Jay. Hey, Ernie, the key word here, and there's one word that stands out to me in your entire statement here. It's the word relax. His MO is passion, energy all the time. He can't relax. That's part of the issue, I think. That causes you to micromanage. When you can't relax, that causes you to be all in all the time on things, and you just can't ever delegate or loosen the reins up for some, either the players or the coaches. And there could be some of that. I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but I can see that.
Yeah, and I agree, Infidel, with this 100%. The Hub says, so who are you getting? I'm not getting anybody to replace Brent Venables. He's the head
still
coach,
here.
and he's going to have another year, and they may do better. We'll see. And then KB Longhorns, hey, this has been a comparison for probably 2 months now, and KB's been dead on with this. I think it's a really good comparison because the players love Strong. That the culture was great. They just weren't getting wins. That everybody loves Strong. I think there's a comparison there.
And 918, I agree he's going to be here next year, but we are talking about us as fans. I mean, we do a show every night, so we're going to take opinions on the matter. I think every true OU fan is going to say, I support BV next year. Like, I want OU to win. We're just here talking about it each and every night, so it's going to happen.
Hey, we got Greg on the line. Then we'll get to Daniel's comment. Greg, what's going on, man?
Nothing too much. How about you guys?
All right.
Good.
So, yeah, my thought here. So, we say, or some people are saying, who are we going to get if we really let Brent Venables go? And, I think that's an argument you could realistically have if we were winning like 9-10 games a year, kind of like Nebraska had a few years ago when they let Bo Pelini go. That was like just a stupid decision on their part that they are still trying to recover from after all these years. But the fact is, we're 6-7 the majority of the seasons with him here, and it hasn't been good. But I guess my real question is to play devil's advocate, have we really hit rock bottom? Could it be really worse? Do you think there's a realistic scenario where if we brought in someone new, granted we have to start all over, or we're struggling to win like any games at all? Is that even like a possibility, or are we just being too afraid and holding on to this guy?
I think it's a fair point to say what would happen when they make the move, whoever they hire, and with the transfer portal and stuff, you never know who's going to just exit. I mean, that's why I think it's better if Brent Venables wins. Obviously, it's better if he stays for the next 3 or 4, 5, 6 years for the long term.
And Greg, to your point, could it get worse? And to Jay's point, it could. I see Hunter agrees too. Here's why. There's one positive for sure OU fans can take from BV being at OU. Guys are not jumping ship.
Well said. I'll say that.
If he were to leave and half this program leaves because, they're all about BV, then it could get worse before it got better.
Yep. And I'm hoping that doesn't come to reality here. I want BV to be the guy. I want him to turn it around and prove us all wrong here, but got a lot of improving to do, and hopefully we can. That's all.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Always.
Have a good one. Hey, and I'll say this because I've seen it in the chat, and I've seen it a few times in the chat. Who would you get to replace BV? Who's out there? I'll say this: never, ever, 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 ever have I made a hire in my real life or made a fire and thought, I don't know if I should fire this person, may not be able to find anybody better. I've never done that in my life. If they're not working out, they're gone. So I think that's a lousy excuse to say, well, who's out there? No, it doesn't matter. If you don't think it's going to work out with the guy you hired, then you cut ties with them. Okay? It doesn't matter who's out there if it's not working. Now he's getting another year. Okay. And like I said, let's see what happens this year. He went and got Arbuckle. He went and got Mateer. We'll see what happens with the defensive coordinator. Greygod, Deion's done a lot.
Let me say something about Deion.
Let me Deion's done a lot better than I thought he would at Colorado. But with the administration at OU, I don't think that would ever work out.
Okay, guys, can we stop the Deion stuff? First off, Deion wasn't going to stay in college forever anyway. He's going to be a
Dallas. He's one-hit wonder. He's
Second of all, Second of all, he had two of the best, two of arguably the best players in the country and couldn't win the Big 12 either. So, I mean, in the SEC, what would they do?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, these names are good names, Michael. I'm not sold on Lashley yet. I'm just not. But what years were you at OU? Daniel was at 2000. Was it 13 to 16, Daniel? I can't remember. Somewhere around there, 15 to in the 15 range.
And
2012 to 16. There it is.
I agree. I agree with Coconut Greg. The revolving door of coordinators isn't helping, but that's BV's fault.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
BV's fault.
And Chuck says, Jay, employers don't do that if they have a lot of money in the employee. Well, I've heard plenty of jobs where they basically give them a payout to leave. I've heard of that all the time. I know you can't compare all that. I get it. I know you can't compare
the Deion stuff. The Deion stuff, like, guys, I'm not sure it would have been any better at OU, and I can't say that it would or wouldn't be, but
it doesn't matter. Deion would, if you would have hired Deion would have not been long term. It's not a thing. He's not going to be. I mean, now if he goes to Dallas, he'll be there long.
Tyler, what do you mean by you have to have guys? If you're talking about players, that's on the coaches too. And I get it. You're saying BV is getting guys. There are guys. The evaluation's been bad. The personnel decisions have been very bad. I mean, you want examples? I have examples of very bad personnel decisions across the board. It's been bad. I can go back a few years.
Max says Joe C could wear a big gold chain if he brings it and chain if he brings on Deion. Hey,
I didn't say he wasn't a fit.
That was
Jay.
I didn't. No. I said the administration, Germ. Do you see Joe C going after Deion Sanders?
Why not?
But do you see that happening? Is that question?
Well, the reason I did it is to me, here's the deal. BV had less experience than Deion. That's a fact. Deion had more experience at Jackson State. But for me, it's not about the fit necessarily. It's more about, I don't know that anyone, look, BV, they thought BV would be here forever. Deion, to me, is a guy that's not going to stay in college forever.
Why are we even talking about Deion? He's going to Dallas. He's not going to be in college. So,
and they got destroyed by BYU with two elite players.
Sooner WX reminded me of a point I forgot to mention is basketball is doing really bad. I don't watch, but I get my info from you guys. Basketball is doing really bad, and I heard LNC still can't fill its arena. Right? That's the only other program other than football that can actually make a positive in income. Okay.
Yeah.
And football, if we have some more bad football like this, the stadium's gonna get lower and lower. You know.
I don't think it will.
And then I think it will. I mean, nobody watches the team lose. They couldn't even. The guys couldn't even sell tickets this year that we're trying to get rid of them, from what I heard. Okay. And that when that happens, and this is why I'm so argumentative of Joe C being let go. When the football goes down, every other sport's going to go down because they're going to lose all their money. Football pays for everything.
You can't let it get that way. You got to.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, when it gets
the
that
people
way,
that love
Chester,
softball,
that's when Joe C goes.
Look, we all know Patty is great. We get it. We know that. It's proven. But when football money goes, softball ain't going to make nothing. How much longer are they going to be good? Right? Football pays for everything.
You're
you
right
have
about
to
the
be good at football.
Money. The football money is big time. You're right about that.
Right. It pays for everything. That's why you have these other programs. When football goes down, a lot of them programs will be gone.
Hey, and Chester, when they start losing money and can't fill the stands, that's when Joe C will be gone. Yeah,
it'll be too late then. Then we'll go through the 90s again.
But I agree with Talon, Chester. Football money's never going to leave. I don't think
it left in the 90s. Okay. It left in the 90s. And y'all know that. What a season ticket back then was $100 or $150.
Are you talking about Blake and Schnellenberger years?
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, but I don't see it going that bad. I mean, I know the record. I know the record. I'm just saying that was a whole train. Schnellenberger was a train wreck. I mean, that was just
I'm just saying. you guys got to have better defending the football program. It has to be better, or it's going to affect the whole entire university.
I agree with you on that.
Football pays for everything.
I agree with you. I agree.
All right, y'all have fun.
Have a good one, Chester. It has to be better. And
Nebraska still
Nebraska.
Nebraska still fills their stadium. Patty has a large booster that loves her. I like that.
Let's just say this. Let's not get to that position. Let's go win games next year, period. Brent Venables, go win games next year. You got a good offensive coordinator. Who's the DC going to be? That's a whole nother topic for another night, probably, conversation.
Hey,
but maybe this will be it. Maybe Brent Venables figures it out this year. Who knows? I'm not looking on it.
The other thing, like Robert says, is TV contracts paid the OU around, I don't know how factual this is. I know it's a lot of money, around $85 million. So profits. Hey, Danny, in what way? And I'm really curious. Maybe you can call in. Danny, I would love for you to call in because I honestly want to have that conversation about the comparison to Nebraska. How would we say OU is comparable? Well, they're not winning anything. That's one. I'm trying to think of ways that OU is kind of similar to Nebraska.
Well, you could go off record right now.
They're not a better program than OU right now, Danny. That's just not true at all, man. It's just not true at all, Danny.
They are getting better, yes.
They're getting better, yes.
And Matt Rule is playing in the portal really well. They're
hey,
on
Danny, if they're a better program, they'd be recruiting better.
Did you see the Sports Illustrated that came out today about the top 10 programs in college football history? Top 10 programs in college football history. Where was OU, you think? This was by Sports Illustrated.
6 or 7?
3.
Oh, wow.
You had, I think, USC was 2, OU was 3. But it was historical. So national championships are a big deal, obviously. No, FanStop says no matter how bad OU football record is, they still receive $70 million. That's true. They're going to get money from the SEC, but they got to start winning games. I know the schedule. Somebody put in there. The schedule hasn't helped. It doesn't matter. You got to win. You got to win.
Yeah, the schedule can't be an excuse. Hey, hello. I know OU lost to Navy. I know it. They also beat Bama. So, I mean, this game-by-game comparison is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Again, I'm ready for you to call in. By the way, check out the FanStop at thefanstop.com. It's officially licensed gear. It's locally owned. Look at the Shirt of the Month Club. They have 2 different packages. They have the short sleeve option. They have the package that has long sleeve shirts and hoodies as well. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months. thefanstop.com. Get on board. And if you're a Nebraska fan, Danny, check out their Shirt of the Month Club.
And then I'm going to get to trivia, but here's the Deion quote from tonight. Deion quote from tonight. Love Jerry. Goes on to say it's intriguing. Why are you clapping?
Michigan beat Bama. Game by game comparisons is dumb.
I would agree with that. You can't go that. I mean, you can't go every game.
It's dumb.
Here's top 10 by here's top 10 by revenue. Ohio State, Texas, A&M, Michigan, Bama, Notre Dame, Georgia, Nebraska, Tennessee, OU. OU has and will continue. They'll have money, is what he's saying. No, Keith. No. They don't even have an opening.
Now,
Sark's
maybe Dallas.
Leaving.
Dallas, Texas, possibly.
Sark's not leaving. Hey, yeah, OU.
Dallas, Texas, possibly.
Hey, let me get to trivia. Here we go. Trivia tonight. I was watching the Minnesota Vikings. Man, that was a bad game. They looked bad. But just kind of triggered my memory of Adrian Peterson with Minnesota. Then I went down a rabbit hole. And here's a trivia question. Adrian Peterson, who did he replace in the starting lineup at OU as a freshman? Whose spot did he take? Do you know this, Jerm?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. I do know this, Jay.
Do we give it to Michael or not? I know what he was trying to spill out there. I think
I think he's spelling it correctly.
But yeah,
he was
Keywan
trying
Jones.
to say that. Yeah.
Keywan Jones.
Hey.
There it is.
Hey,
let's do this. Hunter, give Michael a point and give 918 a point because he said Keywan Jones first and last name. Give them both a point.
Hey,
So.
I really just got one question. I really want to answer. And I'm kind of, it's just specific for Danny here tonight, right here. Can you go from being really good to just being a dump in a year? I'm curious.
Well, I think he's saying over the 3-year span.
No, I'm asking, though, his opinion. Can you go from being really good to a dump within a year, or reverse it, from a dump to really good in a year?
They say yes. Danny says yes. What's your point, Jerem?
I was seeing what he said, because he called Bama a dump. I don't think Bama's a dump right now. They didn't have a good year, but I wouldn't say they're a dump.
Chester said, did mine not get posted? Chester, I don't see your – yeah, you got it, Chester, but you were behind them. They were ahead of you. Keywan. You got Keywan, but you were behind them. 10 wins to 6 wins for us. Yeah, but look at the schedule.
What about 6 wins to 10 wins? Jay, what about 6 wins to 10 wins?
What about it?
Are you not a dump that year then?
Oh, you went from 6 to 10, first to second.
Yeah, I know. So so the next year they weren't a dump?
Here's the problem you have.
You're getting my point here, Jay. You're getting my point.
I get it, but here's the problem that the OU fans, I think, have, a lot of them, is, and maybe me included, is you go from the Bob Stoops to the Lincoln Riley. When Lincoln Riley left, I mean, OU had been to the playoff how many years out of the 5 years? I mean, they were going to playoff consistently. And now since then, they haven't even sniffed it. And I think that's the problem. Now, yes, it does take time, as Greg says. It takes time to build a real contender. I get it. But also, I think the thing is, nowadays you're seeing teams change it quickly with the portal and stuff. And so you have that also glaring in your face that, hey, you can change things quickly. So, hey, we can sit here and talk about this till 4 a.m. It doesn't matter. OU's got to win games next year, period. End of discussion. And everybody on here, if OU wins games, I'll be interested to see what the people say that are saying some of this stuff now.
Hey.
If they lose, right now I'm not picking OU to win 8 or 9 games. I can tell you that right now. I'm not picking it right now.
Mez, your credibility is going down by saying 12-0. Just it's going down. I really hope that's tongue in cheek. Selene said, has OU football ever played a Crimson Cream or spring game, red-white game before spring ball? That could be a fundraiser and could kickstart year 2. Fundraiser, I would say no. You're talking about before the spring game? I would say no, they haven't.
Is there? I've always wondered. You know how they do the spring game?
They have scrimmages. Hey,
what I was going to wonder. You know how they do the spring game? Can you not open up the scrimmages to fans and charge, make more money for your team?
Never going to happen, Jay.
Why?
It's just not going to happen.
But why? If it's fundraiser for the NIL, why wouldn't it matter?
Because everyone's worried about people seeing their.
Oh, that's hogwash. That's hogwash. I think it'd be a great idea. I think it'd be a great idea.
I'm going to say this about BV.
Bob Stoops went and played in Tulsa Memorial. We went to that game with Josh Heupel. Do you remember that? In little Tulsa Memorial Stadium that year. That was not their red.
Hey, some people might not like this, but I'm going to say it about the BV stuff. Here's what I know about BV. Someone said his days are numbered. Tomorrow, January 14th, we are one day closer to BV being gone. And I said the same thing that tomorrow, January 14th, we're one day closer to the Lord returning. It's the same thing. I don't know when it's going to happen, but tomorrow, a fact is, it's one day closer to him not being here. So let's
wait. Why? Why? What if Brent Venables is here for the next 20 years, Jerem?
Tomorrow's still a day closer, Jay. You're missing it.
That is one of the you've had some pretty good comparisons, whatever metaphors, whatever you want to call. That was probably the dumbest thing you've ever said.
You didn't get it.
And Somebody said, I think Zaya said, if you're going to say credibility 12, also the 3-9. I think 3-9's bad. I don't see it getting that bad either. I would agree with Zaya.
Jay, they had the worst offense in the country, the hardest schedule, and they still went 6-7 with no quarterback. How are they going to get to 3 next year? I don't see that.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I had to pick it right now on January 13th, you know how many wins I'm picking on this day? I'm going 7.
Okay.
Right now, over under 7 wins next year. I want to see what people think. Over under 7 wins.
I'm taking a push.
And I'm talking no bowl game. I'm talking about regular season.
Taking a push right now, unless I got to see some things, Jay.
That's where I'm at. That's why I'm picking 7. I got to see something on the field. Greygott's going 6-6.
The good news is you do have week 2 early Michigan test early.
Michigan game is the most important game in Brent's career.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a lot of big ones.
Hey, Chester, hold up, Chester. You predicted, Chester, what do you want me to set the prediction at next year? 9 or 10 wins? I'm just telling you. I mean, with the schedule they have and the team they've had the last few years, what do you want me to set it at? I don't understand how that's measly.
Hey,
I am not saying that's the standard, Chester. I'm not saying that at all.
No,
I'm
you're just simply asking a question. Hey, Danny, take Michigan out of your statement and put Alabama in there.
He did do that last year. He said that last year.
That's right, and he was wrong on that one. So they might beat Michigan. They might not win 7 or 8 games, but they could beat Michigan.
They might beat Michigan and lose to
exactly
second game and third game of the year. Jerem, what was your answer on Nebraska?
I said I took a push. I took 7.
7-5. Yeah. Did you gain enough in the portal offset a little tougher schedule? I think they
didn't even call afterwards either, which was funny. He didn't even call me after the game. Didn't even call me and say he was wrong.
I don't even think he was
on
the
live.
Man. Hey, here's the thing. I think they got their biggest need though. KB was quarterback. That's their biggest need. They got it. So I will say that.
So they got their biggest need.
2 biggest needs if you count an OC. They didn't have an OC last year.
Okay, so they got their 2 biggest needs. Is there a chance? I mean, you know, people are saying maybe DeMarco Murray goes. Maybe he goes elsewhere.
It all is going to depend on the O-line, in my opinion, next year. I'm about 90%. That's where I'm at. 90% O-line next year with this team.
Are you excited about the O-line next year?
I don't know who's going to play yet, so I can't say that, Jeremy. I got to see it. I can't say anything.
Great C. Yeah. I agree, but if the line doesn't block, the receivers don't matter. And by the way, Danny, I agree. Zach Alley left OU for West Virginia. And if Jim Knowles leaves Ohio State for OU, you better.
What are you doing? DM headed to Dallas with prime time. Jeremy, okay, Jeremy, we get it. Jay, I will stand correct if that happens. Jay, I don't think I said anything, but do we finally solve the running back situation?
Not if DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray needs to be told, you got 2 guys, 3 most that play. That's it.
This is an interesting one by Brian Warren. How bad will it look if Auburn comes normal and Jackson Arnold beats OU? That'd be bad.
It'll look very bad. It'll look very bad.
Well, not only would it look bad, it'd be a home loss in an SEC game that you really need to win at home. Because if you lose that one, yeah, I mean, you really need to win that game at home.
Hey, real quick, KB.
KB's right though. If he's a puppet,
can I speak? KB, Jay, have you seen the Bond movies?
Yeah, a lot of them.
I'm sure KB has seen them too. Jim Knowles is not a puppet for BV. That would be like saying Daniel Craig is Pierce Brosnan's puppet, or Sean Connery is Pierce Brosnan's puppet. Jim Knowles is his own dude. He don't need anyone telling him what to do.
But I think KB is saying, would Brent Venables do that? That's what he's saying.
Yeah, because I think he would say, I've done it my way. What's that song and sing? I've done it my way. Guess what? It didn't work, BV. It didn't work. And KB, what do you mean he isn't coming? Just because of that? Wow.
I had to turn it off with your singing. That was so bad. Cool. I'd rather hear the trumpet. Not going to lie. Maybe you should bring out the trumpet. Do you still have it?
Hey, I am so confused right now on the.
Oh, that's true. We did get copyright strike, I guess.
Why? What is the. Okay, I'll say this. If people would rather have BV calling the defense and running the show than Jim Knowles, I don't know what to say. I guess you're way too much with BV.
Okay. Which defense is better, Brent Venables in year 4 or Jim Knowles?
Jim Knowles, Jay.
Okay. And you're basically saying you'd rather have Brent Venables in charge of all it instead of running the defense, right? Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes. And what were people talking about my hand? I think it's doing my that.
I don't know. Hey, what's
up,
KB?
What I do with my hand. We got KB on.
What's happening, guys?
What's up?
I know. Well, all I'm saying is he's not coming if he doesn't have control.
Oh, I would 100% agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's going to come here and be a puppet. I'm saying he's not going to come here and be a puppet.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, KB.
If you're saying if Jim Knowles comes to Norman and is the DC, then at that point BV has said it's all yours. That's what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying. If BV doesn't relinquish his hold on the defense and wants to keep it, I don't think Knowles is going to go for that.
I agree with you. I agree. He wouldn't come to you if that was.
That's what I was trying to say. I'm not saying that he was going to come here and be satisfied being a puppet. I'm just saying.
I get you now.
Okay, I got you. I read it incorrectly.
That makes
sense. But I got to
think
because of it. So,
KB, were you surprised with Golden going to NFL?
No, not at all. Not a bit.
Really?
No. But the funny thing is today is there's talk about Bond and both our tackles coming back. I mean, not Kelvin Banks, our guard, our tackle. They're deciding not to go. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Bond wouldn't surprise me if he came back.
I think maybe being hurt.
He didn't have a great year. Hurt.
But it wouldn't surprise me if he went in the portal either, though.
Well, fair. That's fair. It pays a lot of money in the portal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
hey, you guys have a good night.
Hey, you too,
thanks
KB.
Thanks for clarifying that, KB. I got you on that. I agree with you. I hope they hire Deion too. Bring it. Hire Deion.
Hey, and guys, listen, I have no clue who they're going to hire at DC. I don't know if it'll be Jim Knowles or not. But here's what I think would be true if this happened. So hear me out on this for a second. Let me say something. Zach Alley left to go to West Virginia. If they were to hire Jim Knowles, it would be pretty clear, I think, that it was a little wake-up call that Brent needed to be like, no, Zach Alley was like his protege, left. I think be a wake-up call to Brent like, yeah, we've got to change some things up. That should not be happening.
Do you want me to sing again?
No, please don't.
He's tried it his way. Hey, listen.
So bad. We're going to copyright strike. Jeez.
Hey, copyright. Great C. We don't need a DC. You all keep saying how good. The defense was much improved. It's a fact. But Jim Knowles, you can't argue, is the best DC. By the way, maybe the second best DC, or at least the third best, is a guy by the name of Tom Allen, who may be going to Clemson.
It's done. It's a done deal pretty much.
Oh,
Hunter,
is it?
Hunter, correct me on that. I think a big-time guy came out today and said it's pretty much a done deal. It might have been Matt Zenith. Basically a done deal. So Clemson, everybody hear this. Clemson went from Wes Goodwin Pete Thamel said it. Wes Goodwin to Tom Allen. They made a
If
move.
OU hires Wes Goodwin, it's going to be a laughingstock.
But Chuck called you out 2 days ago on the phone and said, Jerm, what would your reaction be if that happens?
I already told you.
You said, you said you didn't think you'd be upset about that.
I said that's what we already have, BV doing it.
It would be BV calling it, correct?
It would be Ted Roof 2.0, but BV would be doing it.
Yeah, here's what you gotta listen. If Goodwin comes to OU or Brandon Hall, whoever it is, it's gonna be Brent Venables calling the defense. So
yeah. And Jay, what Iowa Sooner says is 100% true. People say, well, no, that's why he went and got Zach Alley. Guys, he couldn't be the manager and CEO with Zach Alley because he's his mentor. He still had to do all that. Jim Knowles doesn't need a mentor.
Okay, so let me ask you a question here.
Jim Knowles doesn't need a mentor.
Okay, so I think we're pretty clear on this. That
let me say, Zach Alley, Pierce Brosnan, Jim Knowles, Daniel Craig, or Sean Connery. Anything else? Liam Neeson. What else you want? Okay,
here's the point. And Michael said it earlier. Right now, where you're at, January 13th, okay? OU has not made a hire yet. Like you said a few days ago, Jerm. Either they're waiting to get an opportunity to get Knowles, and then if not, they're just going to hire one of the guys we've already talked about. There's no other names. That's it.
And
correct.
I want to, and that's what I want to say. So I want to clarify. I am not an insider. Not an insider. I'm a fan. I'm talking about stuff that people have said. Okay, and when someone says BV calls the defense unless Knowles comes, yep. If Knowles doesn't come, BV calls the defense. We're in the same boat we're in now. Second of all, KB, true question. Benefits of Knowles coming to OU at this point. It would allow BV to just be the motivator and the main CEO. He doesn't have to mentor anyone. He's not going to mentor Arbuckle. He's not going to mentor Jim Knowles.
Okay, but I will say this.
And you get the best coordinator in the country. And it's one that has beaten Tennessee, Oregon, and Texas. He kind of knows how to beat the teams.
Okay, but I'll say this too, Jerm. I watched some Ohio State things today. And did you know this, that Jim Knowles doesn't recruit at all? They don't even have him go out and recruit. He doesn't recruit.
Okay. OU's got great recruiters on staff.
And do you think they would just say, don't do that too? I mean, because he's got a good gig.
Whatever it takes to get him.
He is basically a guy that calls the defense and does all that. And that's what they do. And they pay him a lot of money. Hunter says that is a flaw. What's a flaw, Hunter? Hop on here. Tell me what's a flaw.
He's saying it's a flaw that he doesn't recruit.
Oh, you don't think that
I
was
agree.
true?
Having two brilliant minds on the same staff isn't a bad deal.
Yeah, I don't know, Hunter. I think I'm confused on what you're saying. Are you saying that's not true?
I'm gonna say. Oh, he's saying it's not a flaw. I'm gonna say another reason, KB, that it's a good thing. Jay, do you and I see eye to eye?
Not very much.
Not
Sometimes.
very much. Hey,
Surgeaholics,
would you rather Jay and I just agree on everything? No. And if you have someone that you've mentored, or is that kind of you've raised up, they're always going to kind of have your belief. You want someone who's going to challenge what you're doing. Iron sharpens iron. Bring in Jim Knowles right now. Make it happen.
What's the
Let's
benefit?
do it his way. There we go.
Was that vibrato or was that you nervous? Sound like you were nervous.
I'm losing my voice tonight.
That was not vibrato. Hey, KB says, what's the benefit for Knowles? Well, the Knowles, yeah, come on, Jerm. The Knowles benefit for Knowles would be the family stuff, being closer to your family. For instance, your fiance who you just got engaged to, if that's what you're wanting to do. Now, I don't know. Other than that, it's not like he's an Oklahoma guy. It's not like he's from Oklahoma. He's from the East Coast. So there's nothing like there. I don't know. I don't know Jim Knowles. I don't know if Jim Knowles wants to be a head coach. I don't know what he wants to do in the future. I am his mentor. You know what, though, Ron? It's hard because you try to help him and it just never goes that good. He always goes off on his own.
It's a classic Frank Sinatra, Great Sea. It's classic. I got
doesn't know George Strait.
Absolutely.
Hey,
you want Amarillo by Morning? What do you want?
Hey, name me 5 George Strait songs right now.
Amarillo by Morning. All My Exes Live in Texas. Where the Sidewalk Ends and the Road Begins.
That's 3.
Oceanfront Property and how many more you need, Jay?
One more.
The one from Pure Country. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Gosh. Jeez, the fireman. I mean, write this down. I mean, there's some good ones.
Oh man, he's goat.
Yeah, he is a goat. Put him. Oh, look at this comment. This is great. Put him back in the dryer.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, that's a surgeaholic that knows that story.
First off, Ron, I never compliment your comments. That one's golden because you impressed me with that witty remark.
What hat do you have on today?
Hey, Hunter, it says Colorado. I went to Colorado.
Wait, are you a Buffs Deion fan?
No, I went to Colorado on a mission trip. Hey, Hunter, 2 titles, Amarillo by Morning, Exes Live in Texas, Oceanfront Property, Where the Sidewalk Ends. That's 4 right there, buddy. Thank you very much.
The wiener dog.
Hunter, I have other country tastes besides Zach Bryan.
Some of these comments are there. Nelio says clear blue sky, Heartland. Heartland was the one you were talking about, Jeremy. Check yes or no.
No, it isn't. This is the Andre Bocelli show, man. Man, that's great.
Andre?
You don't know who he is, Jay?
Yeah, I didn't know if you pronounced his name right.
Probably not. Yeah, give it all we got tonight. It's been great. Hey, it's never a dull moment, and I like what Daniel said. Agreeing's boring if you always agree. You got to have some friction. Hey, when was OU's defense the best?
Mike Stoops and Brent Venables and Mike Stoops. Yeah. Jeremy, here's the thing. I agree with that too. I think in a lot of things, sometimes you need people that will at least question what you're doing. I think it's good. I think it's good to have somebody saying, is this the right? Should we be doing this? I think it's always good. Different opinions always work out better. If you can at least talk, you fight it over, but give it away. People are saying
just give it away.
Yeah, cowboy hats tomorrow night. Should we go? Do you have a cowboy hat?
I don't, but I'll get one if you guys need me to. I may wear a suit and go Frank Sinatra tomorrow.
Oh, geez. It's been good night.
It's been great. Check out the fan stop at thefanstop.com. Look at their shirt of the month club. You got to get it. And tomorrow day is another day closer to everything because it's another day tomorrow. Have a terrific Tuesday, everyone. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for keeping this electric tonight. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a terrific Tuesday. Hit that like before you leave. Turn on those notifications. Subscribe. And we'll do it our way.